stay with our studio audience and get you another question.
Hi, Governor. My name is Emily, and I'm from Londonderry, New Hampshire. As you know, 164 towns in New Hampshire passed a resolution this spring calling on national leadership for global warming. Now, you spoke a little bit earlier about the need to conserve energy and to reduce gas emissions. But would you commit to a comprehensive climate change action plan to be implemented within 150 days of your election? And if so, what would that entail?
Well, I would commit to it. I'd do it even sooner because I believe this is a national priority. I'd re-sign the Kyoto Treaty, but I'd say to the world, this is not good enough because we've lost 6 years because the U.S. has not led. So what I would commit to is what I believe is the most aggressive plan. One, 30,000 reduction of 30% by the year 2030, 90% by the year 2040, with cap and trade, with mandates that say that the United States, that produces 25% of the world's pollution, but only has 5% of the world's population, needs to lead. And that will persuade the Chinas and Indias and others that have not joined. But what you're doing is very important here in New Hampshire. And this is what we did in New Mexico. The President of the United States says, I'm not joining the Kyoto Treaty. Totally irresponsible. The science isn't there. I mean, that is absurd. It's been disproven. So then local entities have to take steps. I did it as a state my first year. We're going to abide by the Kyoto Treaty, the Chicago Climate Exchange, the state of New Mexico. What you're doing locally makes enormous sense because we have lost 2 years. The President just got back from Germany where he met with European leaders and he said, you know, global climate change, I now accept that the science says that there's man-made pollution and the planet is hurting because of fossil fuels. Well, big deal. We know that. But then he said, we're going to have no action. We're going to talk about it, and in 2 years we'll come up with goals. 2 years he's out of office. So this means that states like New Hampshire, local communities, I wish every state would do this. So I hope you pass it, you make it binding. You make it binding on your legislature, on your governor. Oops, Governor Lynch is my friend, but you should. You should. You should say to leaders, this is what we want, and we're going to hold you accountable.